Hello everyone and welcome to this review from not review, this is a layout update. Welcome to this layout update from Scott 47. I think that me saying review just signals to everyone, including me, that it has been quite a while since my last layout update. In fact, it was back in May. I had to actually watch it before I did this video just to see the changes that had happened, and I've got to say, quite a lot of changes have happened. So let's dive right in. It's August, as you can tell by the title. And sadly, today, the day of the recording, Tuesday, I went back to school, signalling the end of the summer. So this will be the last time you'll see the Scott 47 Summer 2012 logo. So let's just, well, if you want to see it again, just watch the start of any of my videos from the past few months. Anyhow, I thought I'd start this layout update off by having a look at some second-hand railway books I bought. So the first lot on this side, in this pile, were bought from Alnwick, the second-hand bookshop in the old Alnwick railway, well, the old railway station building that they have there. Wonderful second-hand bookshop, a vast range, and pretty fair prices. So this book, Passengers No More, I don't think anyone has seen these. So you see that's probably an ex-library book, £3.60, not bad at all. Yeah, it used to belong to Durham County Library. It's quite interesting. This was published, well, let me say what these are. This is basically an encyclopedia of all the old railway lines that shut down. So basically, not just the beaching cuts, but whatnot. Anyhow, it was published in 1973, so it's a bit outdated now. So it's got all these lovely lines, look. It has stations as well, so a station called Forchester, if we go across we see there's West Midlands. Actually, let's look up here, this is better. Fraserburgh, Dice Junction, more close to home, owned by the Great North of Scotland Railway. I'm trying to keep my hand, move the light around. This camera strap's getting in the way for once. Right, so where was I? Great North of Scotland Railway, Fraserburgh, Wickham Junction. Date closed this time, the 3rd of the 11th, 1952. Nope, sorry, that's wrong. 4th of the 10th, 1965. Map reference. That's pretty cool, eh? Let's have a look at some other ones. Let's look at the Bowness station, very close to where I am, and where you saw the diesel gala from. I wonder if it'll be under, no, it'll be under Borston this. There we go, Bowness to Pullman, that was the line. North British line, SC I presume stands for ScotRail, one of Scottish region rather. Closed the 7th of the 5th, 1956. Of course it's reopened now as the Bowness and Kinneil Railway under ownership of ran by the Scottish Railway Preservation Society, which I have been getting involved with over the summer. I started out on what's known as the Monday Squad, which is basically track work, which is very heavy going. I've recently started with the diesel group, which is really good fun working on all the old diesels. So anyway, this is the second book, The Heyday of Welsh Narrow Gauge. And this is basically just a whole picture range of Welsh narrow gauge in the 50s, which is not technically the heyday. The heyday was in the 20s or something like that, but they didn't really have that many colour photos. This is the Festiniog line. Lovely shot there. This is, here we are at the Tally Linn. Just look at that. Now, I said to myself when I was planning, look, I actually planned this layout update, I have a list of all to talk about, that I shouldn't spend, I'm not going to spend too long on the railway, but on these books. But if you want a more in-depth look at them, I shall definitely be happy to oblige. This is another narrow gauge theme one. Narrow gauge railways of Britain and Ireland, an encyclopedia. So it's basically just an encyclopedia of narrow gauge lines. Look at that picture. Narrow gauge line running down a street. This is really nice. So here we are under English narrow gauge, and look, it has lists for actual railways. So the Penydwan Railway opened July 1828, closed 2nd of March 1918, second 2-foot 6-inch gauge. Look at that engine, look, that's a really low boiler in that one. So anyway, that's what that book is. Now, the other 3 books were bought from D-Side Bookshop in Ballantyre, and I was up there recently. This book, Amazing and Extraordinary Railway Facts, it's okay. It has it's not really facts, it's more little anecdotal tales of railway travel. That was okay. I'll show you that one next. This one is an interesting one. Locomotive Practice and Performance. Highlights from the celebrated Railway Magazine articles by O.S. Knock. From 1956 to 1959, sorry. So this is really nice. Let's see. It has, presumably wrote these in an app. Well, he wrote these in a magazine. So it has different topics. This is postage on the Highland Line. But what I really like is he's included timetables. So this is all the stations, distance between them, or distance total, I think that must be. Aberdeen to Forfar, that's the total distance. He gives actual train. Well, he shows what they're scheduled to be, and this is actual trains. But the best part is he actually gives you the engine number and the engine class, which is amazing. So that's quite an interesting book. If you're interested, I will do a video on that if there is interest. This is the most interesting book, I think. It's a book on the Caledonian Railway, and it's by our old friend O.S. Knock, who wrote the other book. And just look at that picture on the front. That is great. I haven't read it yet. It's absolutely vintage. Look, its price 30. I don't even know what that mark means. I'm sure some of you older gentlemen will be able to point that out. So that's that picture. It's on the front cover. It's a wonderful picture. It's of a special express leaving Glasgow for the south near Eglinton Street. The train composed of a Grampian type 8-wheel stock, that'll be the carriages, and hauled by a rebuilt Connor 240 and Dunster the third. This is a number, it doesn't list, but that looks like a single wheeler. This is a really great book. Not only is it filled with history of everyone's favourite railway company, it's got loads of these lovely pictures of their steam engines, and I really like the Cali steam engines. They are very nice and unique. Famous people. This is a lovely picture. Look at all those Cali trains. I haven't read the book yet, so I can't tell you what it's about. But the caption reads: a group of 14 Dannisters, I can't read that right, of the first and second series at Kingsmore Shed after working a mammoth excursion party from St. Rollock's Works to Carlisle that required 14 trains. Imagine that! An excursion that required 14 trains. Right, so let's move on to the actual layout, shall we? Okay, so as you can see here, this is my class 101 from Hornby in the SBT blue ScotRail type livery thing. And as you can see, I've fitted interior lights. Now, I'm not sure if I ever showed you this before, but I bought, well, if you follow me on Twitter, you might have picked up on that on a tweet at ScotRail47 if you want to follow me. I suggest you do, because a lot of this stuff and more I have tweeted about, and I've tweeted various pictures of this layout and trains at Bowness and stuff. So yeah, follow me there. So basically, I bought some LED strip lights off of eBay. They're designed to either fit like around your car trim or something like that, but they run off 12 volts, and which is coincidentally what the most modern railways run. So I fitted them at the top, just basically soldered them to the outputs on the decoder, Now with this one, you did have to solder the two cables together because I wired it up to the lighting function wires, so basically what's meant to have is one wire goes to one end and one goes to the other. But no, in this case I had to wire both wires up to this because you want the lights to be on wherever the train's running. And as you might presume, I'm not planning now to fit lights to it at this stage. But as I said, they're just soldered, so if I need to take them off later on, that'll be fine. I've also painted the seats so they don't look a horrible grey colour. Can't really see them. You can kind of make out well, basically the seats look natural because I painted them. I painted them this blue and then kind of dulled them down with this grey. I tried painting the floor, but none of the paint would stick to it, so I'll need to get around to doing that at a later date. Anyway, you may notice that the second unit car is dark. That is because I need to fit a conductive coupling to transfer electricity from this car where the decoder and the pickups are into this one. So if anyone can recommend a good cheap one, I know there's a Brillic one, but they're quite expensive. I think they're about £10 each, I think. No, I think there may be more. They're between £20 and £10 each, probably like £12.99 or something like that. So if anyone knows of any cheaper ones, or plus, these aren't NEM couplings, so I would need to fit NEM sockets to them, which is again more money. But anyway, this car looks really good with lights fitted. Okay, so we go over to the station area where really not a lot has changed, but rolling stock wise, a whole lot has changed. So let's start from this side. Here we have the Heritage rake. I did a video on this, so you've probably seen it. If you're not a subscriber and you're new to my channel, I'll just go over them well, if you're not a subscriber, if you've just watched my channel for the first time, I'll go over them quickly. So basically what we have here is two Thompson opens in BR livery. What I mean by BR livery, of course, is maroon, British Railways maroon livery. One Thompson brake, and down here we have a Gresley full brake, and that goes with the 4MT very nicely, as you saw in the introductory shot. So if we move them away, we see here the 47 on platform 1. We have two new Mark 1s. Now these were bought from the same place where that was bought. If you watched the review of this steam locomotive, you'll know. These were bought from the railway shop opposite the North York Moors Railway in Gromont, Yorkshire basically. These were nice and cheap price, of like £15 each. So good deal on them. What we have here, we have a kind of well, it's a brake coach, but it's an odd brake coach. The normal brake coach, I'm just looking around to see if I have my normal one, but it's in its box because it keeps playing up. I need to put weights over the wheels so it doesn't constantly jump off. But I'm having trouble taking the body off. I don't particularly want to force it, so I'll try that another day. Anyhow, so this is kind of a brake. So there's normally two of these like luggage doors, but in this one there's only one. Therefore the guards compartment is further down, and there's an extra compartment. So I like this shorter style of brake. I like the unusual carriages. So basically there's two first class ones, two first class compartments, and three second class. Sorry. I also got another second open. Well, no, sorry, I got another second class coach. It's not an open coach assembly, it's a compartment coach, which is a bit sad. Well, I say sadly because they were quite rare. You never really saw. Actually, I don't know. I always pretend that I know a lot about it, but I was never around. I wasn't around in these days, so you might have seen them about, but I don't think so as much as the opens. But anyway, they look nice. I like the intercity livery. So yeah. Anyway, moving on. This is the big purchase. If you follow me on Twitter, again, see, you gotta follow me to keep up with the news. Don't worry, Twitter's actually very simple if you're worried about that. If you can get YouTube, you can get Twitter. Anyway, see, I have these 4 East Coast Mark IIIs. This is just to go with my East Coast HST. which I got. Ooh, that was the end of that was early June. I got that. It was like a part and parcel. I half paid it / my dad half paid for it as a well done for studying all year. I'm still waiting on a well done for getting the exam results. I might see if I can wangle a few more East Coast carriages out of them. Or some decoders for the locomotives. That's what. I don't have the decoders for the 2 HST cars yet, so that's why they're currently attached up to the 37. So basically these are 4 trailer standard opens, and surprisingly enough I still need one more. I need one more of these. I need a guards carriage, a TGS, trailer guards second, or standard rather. I need a brake. No, I don't need a brake. There's no such thing as a brake when it comes to HSTs. I need a buffet, and I need 2 first class carriages to create the mammoth 9-car set. It's going to look amazing when it's complete. I'm determined to get this as a full set. Determined. So I bought these in Model Zone Aberdeen. So if you also are looking for East Coast carriages, the seconds, the Model Zone website says that they're out of stock on them. They don't list them anymore. But when I was in Model Zone Aberdeen, when I was up visiting relatives, there were loads of these carriages left. Sadly I couldn't buy a 5th one because I couldn't afford it. Anyway, just a quick look at them. I'll do a review of these when I get all the carriages. But they're really nice. eastcoast.co.uk. Anyway, that says that's a G. Each carriage is listed as coach G. So I'll need to see. I'm sure there must be a company that makes transfers for East Coast for like HST carriage letters, because if not, I'm gonna make some. I'll make my own. I'm sure you can make your own quite easily. So yeah, that's all the new stock in the station area. Let's move on further down the layout. Okay, so now we move on down to this end of the layout, where as you can see, there are the startings of 2 new buildings. Now, these are from the Metcalfe brewery kit, and these are going to form the buildings of the police station that's going to be here. So we have the main building here, and we have the other building there. I can't remember what Metcalfe call them. So basically this is going to be the main entrance to the police station. This is going to be the entrance into the custody suite, this door here. This building is going to be of some kind of special task force. I'm just making it up as I go along. So I am going to have to raise the level of the ground up, but that can be quite simply done. I have a lot of those Metcalfe platform supports, so I can easily build it up and put just some basic card over the top. So that should be good. The only problem is that there's a small gap. Well, I say a small gap. We've got a big gap between the police station and the bus depot. This is quite annoying because I don't know what to put in there. It's too small to be a building. Well, as I think, because the police station is going to be. I suppose I could move the police station back, because this tunnel, this bridge rather, is going to go over the top, and then you have the police cars around the back. Although, what with the steamer that's running on the line, it really should be this old mini police car, but that's still sitting there. So yes, so I need some suggestions to put in this, like in an alleyway maybe, some kind. What I did have an idea of is kind of like an entryway into an urban football ground. I thought that would be pretty cool. So I get like some football fans walking down. I don't know, something like that. We'll also have a contingent of riot police gearing up in the police yard for inevitable trouble. No offence to football fans, obviously. As you can tell, I prefer rugby. So anyway, apart from that, this area has changed very little. Apart from over here. as you can see, there's now this wire running around here. That's because I've been doing some wiring. So basically this runs all the way into the back of the dynamis, where there's a little clip, and that just about make out the clip there. So that clip runs all the way around, that wire runs all the way around there. Basically what that is it's off this cable. So basically I think it's for household wiring, so that makes it very much safe for 12 volts. Inside you see you have the two wires, but you also have this a middle copper wire, which is just bare copper. Looks like this. And that would of course be for the earth wire, and if it's a household wiring thing, but you don't need an earth wire in this because it's a card station. And anyway, you won't really need an earth wire really. So basically they run under here. Now I lift the station building up. So this is what's underneath, kind of a mess. The two wires run up into here, where there's one of these boxes. And then screwed into that are 3 or 6 wires in total. That are soldered onto the track ends here. One colour wire, the white and black wire, is for the track close to the inside. The grey and black wire is for the track closest on the outside. So that's quite nice. The only problem is that I don't know why I thought I could do this. It seemed like a good idea at the time. So, but basically, as you can see, I've kind of drawn a schematic of what the underside of the station looks like, so that I can run these wires through. And I've had to cut, as you can see, this is where the wire comes in rather. It comes in here, it goes through here, bends through here, along, and this is where the junction box is. But I call it a junction box, I don't know what its actual name is. But as you can imagine, they don't really sit very well. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking that out and just moving that back out to here, making this like making a cardboard over thing, and making that kind of a ballast heap. Not a cardboard over thing. Yeah, so the wires will sit much nicely and the station building will sit properly. Although, to give me credit, it does sit quite nicely as it is, but I don't know. I think it does sit quite. This bit doesn't sit very nicely. So anyway, that's basically all that's been happening, and that's what's happening. What needs to be happening is lots of stuff really. So I shall see you next time. Thanks for watching.